Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure today to introduce you to a very powerful application called vaccine planning. Planning vaccine distribution is typically a daunting task as vaccines need to be allocated as quickly and efficiently as possible across regions, while keeping key priorities and age groups in mind. This task is made even more complex by challenges like volatile vaccine supply, different storage requirements, changing demand and policies, and lots more. The purpose of this video is to give you an overview and a sense for how this specific application can be used to help you make informed, optimized decisions about vaccine allocation, center locations, and many other related topics. This app comes with out-of-the-box functionality that I'll walk you through on a high level, but keep in mind if you need more information or something more detailed or customized for your specific needs, you can always reach out to us. We have experts who can help you with that. You also have instructions in every page in the right side panel that allow you to understand exactly what you are looking at in that page and how to best leverage the functionality that's in front of you. So with the key challenges in mind, let's get into what the application delivers. This tool has the objective of ensuring the delivery of vaccines as fast as possible and as close as possible to people's residencies. At the same time, there are obviously many constraints that you must create the plan within. These are things like anticipated vaccine supply, the demographics, the locations, both of your candidates and of your patients, different policies, shots and the lead times between them, and lots more. All of these constraints can be considered and altered within the application so that you can understand their implication on the overall plan. As you can see, there is a workflow or a navigation on the left-hand side, which enables you to intuitively approach this problem. Here you'll find three main modules. In each of these modules, you can run different scenarios and view all of the outputs in the report pages. So let's begin with macro planning. This allows you to plan 6 months ahead on a country level and categorizes it in cohort or priority groups. You can see that there's an overview of 4 vaccine types available. And also, if we click on one of the vaccines, you can see there are different population groups that need the shot. For example, here we have 7 based on medical risk and age group. Now, there's various things you can do with this data. For example, you can allocate each shot to different age groups as needed. You can add different population groups, change the maximum availability of each vaccine, include number of doses required and number of weeks in between doses by vaccine type. In order to change all of these data points, you have side filters available on the side panel, which allow you to alter the page settings or apply filters so you can exactly see the information that's relevant to you. Also, once again, very importantly, there are instructions in every page which exactly tell you how to leverage all of the functionality you see in this tool. So once information has been entered, the tool automatically in real time optimizes the vaccination plan and reports it. For example, let's say you're alerted that you have additional supply of a particular vaccine available. You can change the number in this table. Let's say the total capacity at the overall level instead of 1,200 in week 5 is 2,000. So by changing that number in the rest of the application, that the implication of this capacity change has been taken into account. This is also very helpful because you start getting a deep understanding of when and where the capacity of certain locations starts to become a bottleneck based on the changing demand. The second phase of this application is called the Tactical Decisions module, which allows you to look at forecast needs for resources at the location and staff levels. And it helps you make sure that everything is in the right location. You can see many useful visualizations of the solution here, like the time, if we zoom in here, the time that each patient or each location would need to travel to the vaccination center. You could also see various information about the demographics of the country, of the vaccination locations, for instance, the average travel time and the buckets that most people are within, the expected number of vaccination, and lots more. Another interesting thing you can notice here is the fact that there are more people, for example, that there are more people in the younger age group in one region compared to the rest of the country. Now, as I clicked on this button, a lot of different pages popped up as well. In location closure and in the location optimization sections, you can take into account different constraints and see their implication on the plan. In other words, using the underlying mathematical optimization, you can begin to minimize the total travel time that every patient would need to take, or every person required to take the shot would need to take. To take a step further, you would be doing this while keeping in mind that if there is low demand or for any other reason, certain vaccination locations may be closed, how should the allocation of the patient to the vaccine location change? So immediately you can start changing a lot of different metrics and see how it affects your overall plan. And then of course you can visualize how all of that looks in the map. You can also do some planning on the short term. So let's say for the next 4 weeks at a location level to understand staff availability. Now, as you know, conditions are always changing, which means you might sometimes want to adjust the underlying master data. Let's say if there's a new vaccine type that's introduced, if you want to give the at-risk group first access to the vaccine, or really if you want to change any other metrics related to your data, you can do it here in the master data section without having to mess around with the original data. So the flexibility and the ability to quickly run whatever type of scenario in the front end of the tool is another big benefit that you have. So there's a lot more this application can do, including things like determining the optimal number of locations of vaccine stations using a center of gravity analyses. But hopefully this demonstration gives you a perspective of the kind of questions it can be used to answer and how intuitive to use it is, especially considering that there are instructions in every page so you can ramp up quickly. I'd like to thank you once again for your time for watching this demo. So if you are nonprofit organizations or generally are interested in testing out the tool or have any feedback or questions for us, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.